Hi, this is Jens from WunderGraph, and in this video we will go through the flow of setting up our NextJS Postgres example. So let's init our project. So say WunderControl init -- template NextJS Postgres starter, and then we cd. Oh no, we don't need to cd anywhere. We're already in the repo. So here we have this README. So we have WunderControl globally installed. I used proof for that, and then here we run yarn. That installs all the dependencies. Okay, then we need to start a database. Yarn database. Docker compose up. That gives us the database. Hello database. What's going on? Try it again. Okay. Database running. Good. Then second step, migrate. So we have this Prisma schema with just a user, and so we need to migrate that. Yarn migrate init. Okay, so that database already had some data, but usually if you run it for the first time, then it should be fine. Okay, awesome. So database is migrated. You can see that here as well. And then let's check out what we need to do next. So we then want to run yarn WunderGraph, yarn WunderGraph. That changes the directory into the WunderGraph folder, installs the dependencies, and then we can check the config here. This points to our database with the API namespace DB. And you can see here we're using the SDK to build the config. This starts polling the configuration file. The config is not yet there, so it does this polling. So now we have the config. You can see here's our hello endpoint. And yeah, now we've introspected the database, and you can see here the operations folder. We can create our first operation. So let's query all the users, users.graphql, and then we say db find many user, like this, and then give us the ID, name, and email. So we don't yet have any users, so the result set will be empty, but it doesn't really matter because we just want to see if the database connection works. So you can see this is our API main operations users. So we have this endpoint created. And that means if we now go to pages, index tsx, here we can say const users equals use query, and this is a generated hook. And we can query for the users. I just put a paragraph here, JSON stringify users, and we're done. So let's fire up our Next.js app, yarn dev. Okay, that's the next app. And if you now refresh this browser, and my laptop is not so crazy fast, build successful. And you can see here is our query. DB find many users, and we currently don't have any. So that is that. Yeah, so that was our run through setting up the NextJS Postgres Starter. So once again, you start up the database. This is what you see here with Docker Compose. You run the first migration in it with Prisma. Then you start WunderGraph and you start NextJS. And that's basically it. And now if you change your Prisma schema, you could make changes, then you run another migration, and that could be like yarn migrate something like init or add users or add posts or whatever. If you want to clean it up, just run docker compose rm-v-f. That removes the database and everything. So we can do that now. Let's see, docker compose down dash v dash f. Okay, f doesn't exist on version 2. I'm using Docker Compose version 2. So yeah, that's that. Let's tear this down. Thanks for watching. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can join our Discord, wundergraph.com/discord, or maybe you find some good info on wundergraph.com/docs. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.